Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm your host, Alex Whiteley, and we're coming to you today from Bloom Studios in Coleham, and I'm chatting to Kerry Jones. How's it going? You all right?
It's good, Al. Yeah, it's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. It's been a while, hasn't it? 18 months?
Been a while, yeah.
2 years? It's got to be 2 years, right?
Well, yeah, because everyone's been a shutdown, lockdown.
Yeah, it's been...
Yeah.
The last time we spoke was before the cartoon festival with the late, great Tim King.
Yes.
And we were just talking about him before on air, talking about how we were very, me personally, I was very grateful to have met him, but gutted that I met him in what was the last year of his life, because I feel like we could have worked so well together, you know, but he was such a lovely guy, wasn't he?
Very much so. Really, really lovely guy. Feel very much the same as you there. Met him far too late, really. Our introduction. In such a nice sort of atmosphere that day, a three-way podcast, and taken far too soon. It's very sad.
Absolutely. And, that was kind of like just before your world kind of got turned upside down, right? Because
it certainly did, yes.
The floods in Shrewsbury are not a new story. I mean, it's been happening for decades, but I do remember not long after that, there were floods hit Coleham quite bad the year before now. And Coleham was just gutted, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It came, and we kind of get it from both angles, really. Yeah. It's like certainly where Bloom is, and our position is a real camber in the road, and it's a real pocket, and it just fills, really.
Yeah, because it comes from Greyfriars and Coleham Head, right?
Coleham Head, both angles, and we all get hit along here.
Yeah, it was a terrible time, but I do remember coming out and standing by the school, actually, and just watching. I was saying hello to people and sort of shaking hands with people that were helping out and stuff. Just I didn't want to get involved because there's not a lot I can do. What am I going to do? You know, but at the same time, I didn't want to be a hindrance to people by shoving them. I definitely didn't want to shove microphones in people's faces, not during that time. And this is one of the reasons why it's taken so long for me to come speak to you, because I could see everybody was going through a terrible time, but on a double-edged sword kind of thing, I could see everybody working together as well on social media as well. I mean, the videos of inside this place when it was flooded, it caught my breath a little bit because it looked horrendous. I mean, you were up to your ankles in water, right?
Yes, very much so, and I think that it's hard to get a perspective, really. I mean, we do little videos, everyone, all the locals down here, we do, and we show people what's happening, what's going on, and why we need to have time to recover. Mm-hmm. But it really, it goes everywhere. It literally goes into the store cupboards. It goes right throughout the building.
It seeps into the plaster and the wood.
Into everything. Yeah. And it's still drying out. I'm still having to apply sort of damp-proof paints, and there's always now going to forever be a level of redecoration, really. Yeah. It just, it does, it's ongoing. But we all know the nature of this story, mm-hmm. and we love Coleham, and we love our little hive of creatives down here, and the artisans, the foods that that you can get, and the hairdressers, and
it's been amazing seeing everything grow over there. The
allotment is amazing. It's so well sourced. It's so well stocked. Everything, and house coffee shop guys. The little gift shops, the great butchers on the corner. We've got the school. It's just the lighting guys here on next to me. It's brilliant, really. Yeah, Coleham's so great.
That's one of the things I definitely took away from that sort of time was like there's definitely something to be said about the community here and how you guys all kind of come together. And it wasn't just that. There's people coming from outside to help you guys out as well. The social media support was just fantastic. And, little did we know that was only going to be the start of all of our problems, right? That flood. I mean, to go from being extremely flooded Was it twice?
Twice.
Yeah, twice.
We've actually had 3 within a year.
Yeah.
But the first in February 2020 hit. I remember because it was just before my birthday, and I was getting ready to go to London, and we scrubbed the place because I really wanted to go to see an exhibition in London. And so we got this. I had friends down here, family. We got the place so clean, and then went to London, and then I had all these panic messages. The Coleham Mecca, as we like. We have the WhatsApp group, and there are lots of panic messages about the levels coming in from the EA, and it was just ramping up, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't fight the weather. So we were on the motorway bombing back from London with another flood that had recording, higher levels than the last one. So what's going to happen. How it hit the first time, but the second one came with tremendous force. And what it did the second time was it just held in the building. It didn't come and
didn't recede,
Yeah, quickly. It was there for a good sort of 24 hours, and that's what actually does the damage. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a terrible time. It really is. And, I was saying actually before we recorded, maybe there's something we can do in Coleham with a few figureheads from Coleham where we can talk about the support that you guys have the support sort of structure you guys have put together, the communication you guys have, and what people can do in the event of a flood happening again on social media, where people need what was the one thing that sort of people brought to you that could help you, or whether it's just hands to help out, muck out, or whatever. What is it people can offer you to help out?
We did have a lot of support. We were very lucky, and it really shows, that we've got good people around us in Shrewsbury, in our towns, full of willing, it's beyond, it extended beyond your family and friends and your own networks. You have people sort of walking by, dropping in. We've got a very good local counsellor now, Kate. So she's been wonderful and a great source of strength and support for us, and really an ongoing fight for improvements to this area for us. And then we have our WhatsApp group, but then everyone sort of rallies around to help out. Even people sort of going by, even though they can see that you're cleaning, you've got, they can't almost do the cleaning for you, but they're dropping off bits of food and things, to keep you going. And we had lots of lovely drawings and cards made, well wishes, made for us from the children at Coleham School, organised by the headmistress there, and she personally came round with the children and delivered those cards and messages. It was really quite emotional actually, but it really kept us going, and I've still got those and I still look at them, and it just makes you, even though it's a hard time, it makes you, because a lot of people actually do say, will you move from the building? Absolutely not. I will not leave this place. We will just, the marks and the scars you just live with.
Makes you stronger.
Yes. Yeah. You just keep going on, because actually down here in Coleham is just brilliant. Everybody's so great.
You're such a strong person. I mean, I think I remember I saw you in a restaurant or something not long afterwards, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, there's Kerry there. I want to say hello, but she's going to be really sad because of what's happened. And I went over and said hello. You're like, yeah, I'm fine. And you're like, I was just like, wow, you got so much resilience. And I was actually really inspired by that. So,
Well, the thing is that I suppose when you love what you do, you've worked so hard to get it. And there were a lot of tears shed. And once you get over those, and you've got to kind of sort of think, right, this is my baby. I've got to get the baby washed. The baby's got to get washed and sorted.
Yeah, dry diaper.
Yes, put a dry and kind of pick yourself up and go on, because you've really, when you've worked so hard to get something going, to throw the towel in, I'm just not ready for that. I'm not ready to do that. I really believe in what I do, and it's working, and I love it with a passion. If I'm not working with children, I'm miserable. So I've got to keep going.
And you are fantastic. You really are. I mean, I think you've always just had kind words to say about Timmy, and we've had conversations about the school here as well. You can see it. And for the listeners at home that had never been to Bloom or never visited here and don't know what we're talking about, it's an amazing place in between Greyfriars and Coleham Head, like we just said, and it's the most pristine. I said to James Warman, who's an honorary biscuiteer. He liked me calling him that at the weekend. And I said to him, come take some pictures while we're doing this because Kerry has the most photogenic studio you'll ever see. And he's like, oh my God, I'm in London. I'm so sad. I can't come, because it really is beautiful. And that's what's so heartbreaking, actually, is about seeing the water in here, is because I know how pristine and beautiful your studio is. And I was kind of like, oh no. And he swore then on the podcast. But yeah, it was horrible to see.
I am a tidy artist. Yeah. So, I do love it like a shiny new pin, but I had this ideal, in my head that it has to have gallery walls, so it's mainly white. So we've got this lovely blank canvases with the splashes of hot pink, and now we're filling things up with drawings and lots of things go into what we call the Hall of Fame. So the children, when they do create and they bring things in, we'll say, we'll put it into the Hall of Fame. And they look around thinking, great, what's that? But it actually is the toilet. So it goes straight in. So we've got this amazing loo. Yeah, that's looking really cool. I used to have a bat toilet.
I miss my bat toilet. I said to my wife, I was like, I want to do something with the toilet. It's in our old house. And she's like, okay. I was like, I'm going to put loads of Batman pictures and she was like, fine. And she didn't realize what she got herself in for. And it was literally wall to wall Batman head to ceiling. It was amazing.
I love black walls. We've introduced another one. Each time there is a flood or a level of redecoration, more paintwork goes on where something different happens and something has to emerge. We have to come back slightly different so that people, when we say to the children when they first come back in again, what do you know, what's changed this time? And they have to have a good look around, and we have a bit of a quiz. What can they spot that's new or different?
Yeah. I mean, it is a beautiful place. So if you've never been here, first of all, check it out on social media, but definitely pop around with the kids there.
Definitely. Head down. We've got some brand new classes. Which we're really, really excited about. So we're now going to be open every day, Monday through to Saturday. Wow. And we have a new art teacher, Ali McGowan, that's starting. She's going to be doing something that was basically born in lockdown. While everyone was sort of going out exercising, we decided to start a sketching class that when everyone's doing their exercise, we decided to call it Sketchercise. So get your Sketchercise, your daily Sketchercise in. So we emailed drawing exercises out to families, and the children had to send the pictures in, and they were uploaded to social media. And it was so nice that at a time where we were not able to be together, but we were just connected in a nice way, still doing art that way, and to see that they were still being creative in their spaces, albeit, sort of locked down in a not nice situation, but it kind of gave a bit of a lift, and it gave us a reason to still keep creating.
And as a parent as well, I'll definitely tell you that a lot of parents would have appreciated that, because, it's good to, during lockdown, it was such a breath of fresh air to give the kids something to focus on for a little bit.
Yes.
Because, we were giving homework. Obviously, Coleham were fantastic. We were getting the homework. We would do it. We'd send it, we'd do all that sort of stuff. And it was fantastic, But once that had run out, what else do you do? There's only so much Xbox I'm willing to let my child play. There's only so many, So having that to do. And, did you have any budding little artists come out the woodwork during lockdown?
Definitely. And we got the families also involved. So we said, Mum and Dad, you can join in this. So some, they were able to join in. Some it was just for the children. But it was really nice to see some come through. And actually, when we did come back to regular groups, when we were allowed to open again, we did a few little art awards. So they had some certificates for, most improved or artist that commitment to art through lockdown, and they had some little certificates and incentives to keep them going, and they really appreciated that, and it was nice that they had their work recognised. And
that's always nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everybody needs that. I mean, we were talking about musicians and stuff a couple of weeks ago. I mean, I was just on the folk festival, but I was talking about when you go on stage and you get that instant gratification from the audience roaring or something.
Yeah,
that's what you do it for, isn't it? I mean, I don't see music's great and art is great to be able to give that to someone. And it's good to explore as well. You need to. Art comes in many forms. I'm learning from my good friend Eric Fluger every week that art comes in many forms, and to be able to find out what you're good at and have the license to be able to play with that is important, right? Especially from a young age.
Yeah, license being the word there, Al. It's use that word a lot when they ask, can I paint the sky pink, for instance? And I say, absolutely you can. Use your artistic license.
Yeah.
Your license is yours, and use it. And we do have pink skies, don't we? Right? We have pink skies. Yeah. They're not all blue.
But I think you can make a yellow sky and still get away with it. I mean, because it's relative.
Sky. Exactly. Let's rewrite the rules like Picasso did. He turned art upside down on its head. So we want to do the same.
I saw this great picture of Salvador Dali, who's beautifully painted behind me. That's one of my favourite things about the studio, by the way. I think I had a picture with Luke Crump when he was here with his guitar in front of that.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of Salvador Dali painting with his moustache as the paintbrush yesterday. I thought that was fantastic. Yeah, and it's all about. I feel like there's Mike West, who is from a band called Truck Stop Honeymoon, who I interviewed at the weekend. I've still got the folk festival in my mind, but he said something to me that just resonated with me, and I'm not going to stop banging on about it now, but it makes so much sense. When I'm away from a microphone, I'm a little bit nervous sometimes to speak to new people, meet new people. When I'm in a busy room, I'm kind of a bit shy, but when I'm behind a microphone, I'm kind of like, it's like jazz, it's kind of what I was born to do.
Yes.
And he said to me, if you are behind a microphone and you feel alive, it's because you're doing what you're born to do. And it's the same with art, right? If you feel alive, that makes you feel electric, and that's what you're made to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is. And I still, even when I leave this place, the last thing I do, I switch the lights off, and as I'm about to lock the door, I always look back at the room, and I have to have a little bit of a pinch myself, because it is like a bit of a dream, really, that's come true, this studio. And
it's beautiful.
And it is, I have to just sort of look back at it and still always remind myself how lucky to have this.
And, the listeners at home, like I said, if you're not aware of what Bloom is, that's what you're getting when you're bringing your kids here. Or you teach adults as well, right? Yeah.
So it is all for children. It is really all about building confidence and helping them reach their goals, whatever those goals are. The adults, it's more really, they're not really classes. It's more of an adult art event, a bit like an arty disco.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
An arty disco is a great way of putting things out. Yeah. Sam Pooley invited me to her it was like an exhibition she did up in the loft.
Exactly. Yes.
I wouldn't say where it was, but
secret venue.
A secret venue, and it got closed down. Bless her. But I got to go there and interview her before it got closed down. She's amazing. I can't wait to spend some time with her as well, because we only got like 15 minutes on that thing, and she's just fantastic. Yeah. I love speaking to artists, just getting inside that head and having a good walk around. And with Eric Fluger as well, who was talking about yelling at clouds to do this podcast, and I was saying, like, because I'm not an artist, I can get by, I can draw faces and stuff, but I have this idea of going to getting an artist like Sam Pooley or like Charlie Adlard or someone like that, and go to a life art class, and we spend 15-20 minutes drawing whatever's in front of us.
Yeah.
And then we compare our artwork, and then I go, look, and this is why Charlie Adler or whoever it is a genius, and I am just an idiot with a pencil. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I don't believe anyone's an idiot with a pencil.
That was probably a really bad thing to say. You know what I mean, though?
No, totally. And it's a great thing to do as well. But that's how everyone learns, isn't it? That's how everybody learns, from having that initial influence. But I think it's in all of us, really. I think we can all, and it's just about, personal goals as well and achievements, isn't it? What you want to get out of it, just for yourself, and it's and just knowing that what you do is enough, that you don't have to be anything more. That just what you do is enough. Yeah, and being comfortable with that.
And it doesn't always need to be a purpose either. Sometimes you just make something just to get it out of your head. Yeah. I feel that's important, really, really important. So how long has Bloom been open now then?
So we will have been here, so after Christmas, it'll be 4 years that we've had the studio.
Fantastic. And have things changed since, obviously, since you first opened to now? Has much changed with the kids that come in? There's been a few more distractions with the kids. Have you noticed any trends change?
Yeah, changes obviously to the building. So there's been new artists that we've had, because initially Salvador was the one that was painted first. Then he was joined by Picasso, so he went up on the wall. And then when the flood came, we decided to block up part of the building outside. We gained a wall, and I had this in my mind. I thought, oh, yes, I'm going to be gaining a wall there from a nice clean space. So we thought, well, we've got to have 2 more artists that have to, and we've got to even things up in the building. So it had to be 2 female artists. So we have Frida Kahlo and we have Yayoi Kasama as well that's joined the studio. So that's been nice. But a fresh timetable has come along. Sadly, it did see the end of, we used to do budding bloomers, so a very young toddler group, but because that was always involved parents, and for a while we couldn't have adults in the building. So we had to move on with the timetable really, and it had to sort of get quickly replaced with something else. But because of the way floods and COVID have worked, people have all had to sort of be a bit more creative and inventive about their businesses and what you do. So differences have emerged, but we've had to just sort of move on with those, and different age groups and different things, classes that we can offer that have come out of COVID. So, for instance, Sketchercise and children that were looking at books and things a lot more. So we've got another class that is involving books and storytelling and being creative from their imagination. Yeah. So we'll be doing those. And then our focus groups still continue with the intermediates and the seniors. We still have Saturday sessions. We'll hopefully get back to running parties when people feel a lot more sort of safe about coming together again.
It's an odd experience.
It is. And I think a party is, I suppose we are open to doing them, but people don't feel quite safe. I
was at a wedding like 3 weeks ago, and I was like, do I need a mask? And they're like, it's a wedding. I was like, it's weird. Yeah. It's odd. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll slowly but surely, I think, when we'll return to those. But essentially for now, it's kind of education and back in the building and everybody
taking our time.
Yeah.
Taking our time. Yeah. And the way they set out with the tables right now, it looks great for social distancing and a bit of being sensible with the space you've got.
Exactly. Right? And it uses the space really well because we've got a really lovely large room. So we've added more tables. We made the dash to IKEA before it closed and got more, we got kitted out, and so we can house children safely here, and they can freely move around the room, and it's really comfortable. And nicely set out. So I think that's our intention, is to leave the room set up like this for all.
I'm actually looking around because you've got very clever uses of space and storage here, which I'm taking some inspiration for. I've got a very small space for my studio, so I'm kind of looking for ideas. I like this thing behind you with the drawers and
It is all about storage, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Really is. That's all life is about. I'm like, to my wife, she's like, well, what are we going to do? It's like, we'll just Kallax everything. Just Kallax cubes everywhere, because they're amazing. They're so useful.
They are. It's funny, the word, the Kallax. You head for that when you get there. Yeah.
It was the Billy before, wasn't it? The Billy, the bookcases. Now it's the Kallax.
Kallax is features here. But if you look around the room, also, can you spot that they've got railway sleepers? And so underneath the Kallax there, we've got, and it is, preempting flood basically. Yeah. So we kitted the base of the room round with a tiled skirting rather than a timber skirting. Yes. So it's just a more industrial interior, really, so we can just sweep everything out. Yeah,
and we were talking about that when we was like, have you had to bring everything up off the floor just in case?
Just in case everything gets raised a little, and ready to go. I don't put too much knickknacks and fancy things in here so much now. It's been stripped back a bit, as I do love all my fancy things like the pom-poms and but when the flood happened, I ran in here and I said, oh my gosh, the pom-poms, and Simon was like, oh my gosh, the electrics, Kerry. So you have to get real.
That's fantastic. I love that. My pom-poms, they do look fantastic. Now, when it comes to Bloom creating a legacy, obviously there's Doodle Boy that was here, and Luke Crump as well.
Yes, yeah.
Have you seen a lot of this creating legacies? Is there more to come? Do you believe? And what does that feel like?
It's so lovely. We feel immensely proud of Joe Whale and everything that he's gone on to do. It's been a lovely story. I mean, that boy, and that's what it's all about. Essentially giving children their confidence and their wings, and then off they go. And I mean, look at him, he's flying now. But what happened from that also, and I haven't really had a chance to share this, but I really do want to talk about it, is that because it was a bit of a global, initially, it really
didn't you went on Ellen DeGeneres and stuff, didn't you?
Yeah, it really catapulted, and it went sort of globally very quickly with social media news. So social media news like Bored Panda and Lab Bible, for instance, all those, and so it touched in obscure places all around the world. So I started getting emails and letters and lots of pictures and artwork sent from children all around the world.
Oh my God.
And it's lovely. I mean, Mexico, Delhi, Australia, and they some write to you and you hear from them once or twice, but there has been one little girl who was just, she's a year younger than Joe. She is almost like a female equivalent of Joe's. So she doodles fantastic, but she's like a mini fashionista. So it's in a fashion sense, she creates these characters. She has lots of, like Joe did, he had sketchbooks and sketchbooks of lots of different characters that were influenced by food or places or spaces or even space itself. But this little girl, hers are her own characters, but it's very much influenced by people and travel and fashion, and they are very clean, beautiful drawings, again like Joe's. So and she's been writing to me for 2 years now. So this is what's incredible.
That is a legacy.
She lives in Madrid and she has her own page. She's been on in the news in Madrid throughout lockdown. They went to her home and speak to her. She's been in local magazines. Her parents write to me. We share lots of things. I share her work on my stories on the Instagram. And all she dreams about is coming to England and coming to this studio. And that for me is huge. We formed this friendship. I'll tell you, the email her father has written to me this week brought tears to my eyes. And so that's when you realise the job, that's when it kind of really hits home, and this girl, that's all she wants to do is come here. And I mean, this is a studio in a little town in Shropshire, and she's living in Madrid, and she wants to come here.
And Joe gave her the inspiration, the license again to go out there and show people what she can do.
And I think she will. I think she will do it. And we need to try and find a way to raise her profile and do exactly the same, because there are so many children out there with so much talent, and we want to
because not only does that not like give them a career and something that they can move into when they're older, but it might create another inspired artist, and that's what it does.
It just opens doors, and it gives them another thing beyond their world of that they know, school and school friends. It just gives them another layer, and it just keeps going. And it's character building. It's so good.
I used to be really good at doodling. I used to make aliens. I made this really cool alien once. I had a one wheel for a leg. And I remember showing it to my teacher once, and they were like, "Oh, that's really good." I was like, "Cool." End of story.
I can't do it. I cannot. My lines are, if I sketch something, there's lots of lines. It's very...
But this is the thing, right? When you're in the zone and you draw one nice thing out of a billion terrible things, you're like, oh, wow, that was fantastic. It's really good. Luke Crump can just go. He can just go all up the wall. Yeah, I know. Yeah. And we did an interview last year during lockdown. He said, I'll draw some artwork for you. And he did. He drew me on the cover. I released it. He sent it to me, and I burst out crying. I promise you, I burst out. And I still haven't got it printed out. I need to get it on canvas. I want this thing because it's beautiful.
You've got to get that.
Yeah, because he's just, honestly, I just wanted to speak to him because, like, we did the interview here, but it was only for, like, 15 minutes, and this is what happens to me. This is what happened with Sherry Gerard. I spoke to her for 10-15 minutes. I was like, I need to speak to you for like an hour minimum, so that's what we did. So I spoke to Luke, and he's just a fantastic guy. He's just a lovely guy, and that's what this does. It not only, I feel like with art and what you guys are doing, and moving on, like you said, this girl, let's get her in the limelight and stuff. It teaches them how to deal with it as well, because there's a lot of pressure there sometimes when you've got Luke's drawing trainers for people all around the world now. There's a lot of pressure there, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, he is fabulous, and he did he picked up the mantle with the doodle sessions here, and he had this great warm up doodle bingo, and it was such fun. I mean, the kids absolutely love it. They're screaming out bingo when they've got all their drawings on their mat, and he was so good, and he's such good fun. But he's moved out of Shropshire.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm not in there. I'm not in the Shropshire. I don't care. Here. I met you in Shrewsbury, so it counts.
Yeah, exactly. But any time he is over here, I still do message him, and I follow his page. And any time that he is here, I would grab him. Yeah.
He's very generous as well, because we were for Pod Aid, the charity event we're doing, and we were going to do an auction, but we just couldn't get the donations in for a charity auction. But one of the first people I messaged was Luke. I was like, Luke, do you reckon you can design something? He's like, yeah. When do you want it? What's the address I need to mail it to?
Yeah.
That's literally it. Yeah. But we haven't done it in the end. Maybe we can get something in the future to give away and add to the kitty. I don't know, but that's how nice he is.
He is.
What are you guys? I know you said you've got you got a few classes booked up, but is there anything in particular that you're really excited about? You want to tell people about? Then you could comment.
All really excited about the new classes starting. I'm excited about my other girl, Lauren, coming back. Lauren Kent, who does Big Bloomers on a Wednesday evening. That is a lovely group. So age 11 upwards. It's just got a real buzz and a hum in the room when those children are here. They've all been coming for a long time, so it's quite a well-formed group. They all know each other really well. It's kind and supportive, and purely explorative. They have a great time with Lauren. So that's a really nice group. And then she does her Saturday class as well, which is brilliant fun, and she has her regulars there. So I'm really excited to just get term time going again, really, in general. I love term time. I know exactly where I am.
I think you're not the only one that's excited to get term time going. Yeah.
Parents ready to get children back to school. But the summer holidays are a bit of, we provided classes throughout the summer, but you never really know.
It's no routine, is there?
It's a bit of a lottery. Yeah. You don't know whether people are away, and even with travel being so much uncertainty this year, but people actually still did go away. But in England, we're holidaying in sort of Wales and Cornwall, and so you'd never know who's going to come or not. But with term time, because everybody books on, you do know where you are, and you're just happy to see your regular faces again.
I'll have to bring Timmy along.
Oh, you must do.
I was trying to find time for him, because that kid works so hard, honestly, because he's got taekwondo, he's got beavers, he's got... What else has he got? Swimming lessons. He's got. We get lots of extra curriculum,
Yeah.
And I want to get him learning an instrument as well. Yeah. So but art, he's very good at it. He really does try.
Yeah.
And sometimes he'll draw something and just blow my mind. I'll be like, wow, I didn't know you could draw like that. It's crazy. Isn't it?
It's so lovely, isn't it, when they draw something and they're really chuffed with it. The other thing I did want to say that was very, very exciting, and really shouldn't leave this out, that we really were so proud of, but it was a lockdown project again, and we kept it secret for a long time, but we created this was the big bloomer, the Wednesday evening class. They created a comic documenting the whole time of COVID and what it meant to them, because it's a first for all of us, a global pandemic. It was a big shock. A
lot of trauma, actually.
A lot of trauma.
A lot of hidden trauma for some.
We didn't know what it meant to start with, or how to deal with this. This hadn't happened before. And initially, I think when Boris made his announcement, we all thought it was going to be over within 3 weeks. And we never could foresee that it would go on for over a year. So the children dealt and coped with it really well, and of course we were open and closed in between the lockdowns, but we all kept in touch, and they made this amazing comic which we approached Andy McEwen, who's the
great guy.
He's fantastic, and we managed to get the whole comic projected onto the Market Hall.
I remember.
It was just awesome.
I spoke about it with him. He came on the show. I was like, I remember when you did a thing for Bloom Studios. He's like, yeah, it was such a fun project.
Yeah, it was so good. And I managed it was all fine tuned, because we had to make sure it was formatted A4, so it was going to fit the building right. And it did, it worked.
He's a genius, isn't he?
He is genius, because his scanning equipment made sure that it was really high res, so it worked to those proportions, and all the families turned up, and I went every night. It was on for a week. So took my whole family, and it was just, I felt very, very proud of the children, very proud of their achievements, very proud of the way that they coped and dealt with everything so well. And it felt like it was a bit of a new dawning as well of us coming out of COVID, because it was sort of a time to...
And it was learning new ideas as well from other parents and things online. Oh my God, they did this, let's do this again. And there's lots of things that kids were building and, activities.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It really is nice, because this comes from your heart. You can tell, everything that you do. It's not from we need to get these kids in so we can make a few quid. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, let's find something nice to do. Let's have some fun. And the results are there they were playing to see on the side of the Market Hall. You know what I mean?
We've got to find the next thing now. I think we're keen to do a bit of animation on it next. Still got to stay in touch with Andy. But yeah, we need to keep ploughing on, find the next doodle person or painty person or whoever it's going to be.
We're not short of inspiration in Shrewsbury, that's for sure. There's plenty of artists.
So many artists here, so many brilliant artists, so many great kids, and it's a lovely town, isn't it?
It inspires the heck out of me. It really does. I mean, there's so much we're sort of planning on moving it. No, I don't want the Shrewsbury Biscuit to be just a podcast. There's so much in this town that inspires me that we can't really show people with a podcast. So we want to start doing some vlogs and stuff,
Yeah.
There's my wife. She's come coming in now. She had to just come in, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So like, I want to show people what Shrewsbury's all about, you know? So we want to look at like bars and restaurants and you know, hospitality, live music, live bands, artists. Like you can't see the art in this room on the podcast. So we make some vlogs about it. Hey, presto, there you go.
Exactly. So it can come to life. But there is, like you say, there is so much to this town, isn't there? So much that we need to explore and show off, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And so hopefully we can move forward with that. Is there something like, I mean, you say this is your dream, this place, and I can understand why, but is there something that you would love to just do, but you haven't had the chance to yet? Is it there? That's a very deep question. It's like,
that's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
But there must be. I'm going to think about 10 different things afterwards now. When we sign off, I'm sure. I don't know. I think I'm happy when I see. For me actually, it's very simple things, that the things that resonate with me and the things that I feel most proud of are when you see a light go on in a child's eyes, or something that when they flush with colour in their face because they're so proud of something, and it's a moment and so quite transient things really, but those sort of little things but they're huge things to them.
Yeah,
those are the
means
things
an
that
awful lot.
mean a lot to me. Just to carry on doing more of that, really. Just keep going.
Inspire. I mean, there's nothing better. There's nothing better. How can people like that are listening get in touch with you away from the studio, of course, social media, stuff like that? So,
they can find us on, obviously, social media. So we've got Instagram and Facebook page, but also our website, which is www.bloom-art.co.uk. And you'll find all my details on there. We've updated it recently with a lot more pictures, a lot more information about our classes, our new classes, and what's going on here and for now and in the future, really.
And I think a good question to ask would be like, if we're like, as a parent listening to this now, who feels like they've got the next Picasso or the next Doodle Boy in their midst, what advice would you give them to try and progress their child into?
Just keep practicing. Don't just encouragement, lots and lots of encouragement. It doesn't necessarily mean that they've got to race down to be doing art class, but that it shouldn't be. Children should just never be creatively stunted, but it should always just be encouraged. Just general encouragement.
Not do another, do another,
and another.
Do one for Auntie Jack.
Yeah,
Auntie Jackie.
It's just that gentle encouragement, really. And so because with confidence, it's a word that I think it's overused, but it's a huge word. But with that, they can go anywhere.
Amazing. Now I know we've gone for 40 minutes and we've got to go pick the kid up from school. I've got to say, by the way, it was so funny because Coleham School are amazing. I love them to pieces.
It's a lovely school.
It was just so funny this morning because they were so careful during lockdown. Honestly, it was like, buddy, stay away from each other. We've got to wear masks and stuff. This morning was like a mini festival. All the kids and parents dropping them off. It was fantastic. So I guarantee it's going to be just as hectic picking up because it's the first day back at school. Lovely to see everybody back though. And you're talking about lockdown and the sort of the traumas and things it caused. I was chatting to someone earlier and they was like, I've got to go back to the office tomorrow or today and I'm really nervous about it.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's just an odd situation when people are worrying about things like this,
It's funny, those breaks that we had, they're not good, are they? I don't think they're healthy. I actually felt a little bit similar. And I started to get a bit nervous about coming back. Once I was here and the kids came through the door and you're off.
Yeah.
And you do forget about it quickly. You just need to keep going.
I'm trying to remember which interview it was from the first time I did my first face-to-face interview back from COVID. And sometimes I suffer from anxiety listeners. You may have heard me say that before, but sometimes. But then one day I was pacing back into, I went down to the car, forgot something, come back up. I was like, oh my God, these clothes look terrible, changed my outfit. I was pacing up and down the apartment. It was just one of those things. I was kind of like, oh my God, this is weird. Once you get back into the flow, though, it's nice, isn't it? It's
Absolutely.
just one of those things.
Yeah.
I do believe the Hive are doing something as well. Listeners, if you are struggling with anxiety about going back to work, back to school, college, whatever, check out the Hive's website, because I do believe they're doing something around that. So just have a look there. There's a little bit tidbit for you. Kerry, you're fantastic, honestly, and I would love to come and bring Timmy here, and we can do a vlog. Let's do
that. Bring him.
Do a vlog. Yeah.
Bring him and some of his Coleham bezies.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so they can do a little, I think if they have a little gang, they feel...
Should we plan something for next month?
Let's do it.
Yeah?
Go on.
Halloween. Have you got any plans for Halloween?
I must admit, Halloween I love, actually. Yeah, I love getting them dressed up a bit. We have some props here, and we do funny little posts. We had them climbing all over the booth seats the last time, doing the scariest faces that they could do. Brilliant. I love it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll plan something for Halloween.
Yeah.
It would be my honour, genuinely.
Love it. No, please come back. I'll love you to come here anytime.
Thank you. I'm going to tell you guys something. I don't know when this is going to go out. I think this is going to go out in 2 weeks, so we should be okay. But I'd tell you something that we're planning in September. We're doing this thing called Pod Aid. It's a live 24-hour podcast that we're going to be doing for charity. We're doing it to raise money for Ling & Davis. At 9 a.m. on the 29th of September, we're going to go live, and we're not going to stop till 9 a.m. on the 30th. Whoa. It's going to be amazing. We've got 24-hour-long guests all booked up. Amazing guests. Charlie Adlard will be there. The mayor will be there. We've got Dean Harris coming around. We've got famous voice actor Charlie Adler, who was the voice of Paddington Bear in the 1986 cartoon with Tim Curry, Starscream as well in Transformers. Anyway, amazing people coming on this event that we're doing. I'm very, very excited about it. We have a sponsor, thanks to Reach. They're doing our marketing, and they're doing our logos and stuff. It's very, very good. We have a venue, thanks to Shrewsbury Town Community. We're using their Reach Community Hub outside the football stadium. And we're using cameras supplied to us by Trevor from SAS, Stage and Studio Shropshire. So it's going to be fantastic. We're literally working non-stop on it. Today we've just had our final guest sort of confirmed, because she's in LA. Times are different. She was like, I can't come on the show at 5 a.m, Alex. It's not going to happen. So we have had to reshuffle things. Anyway, it's going to be amazing. So we need your support, guys. There's going to be a text to donate button. It's probably up and running now, actually, because I'm going to launch it as we speak, sort of next Wednesday. So there is a text to donate button. We could do with any corporate sponsors. If you want to sponsor an hour of that show, because the lineup is full. But if you want to display your logo for the hour and be like, this hour is brought to you by such and such, it's £100 donation, but 100% of that goes to Ling & Davis, and you get promoted to the world during this thing. So get in touch with us, and you can get in touch with us through our website, which is the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast.co.uk. And that's made for us by our friends at Web Orchard. If you need a website, go and check them out, because they make websites just as beautiful as ours. So, Kerry, you've been amazing. Seriously. Thank you for talking to me. And we've got listeners, make sure you check out Bloom. Bring the kids here. It'll be a great time. We'll do a vlog and we'll show you what it looks like. Okay?
Yay.
Right. Catch you next time, guys. Peace out.